So, for the first time in the 7 years that my partner and I have been dating, he will meet my mom. This is happening in a few weeks. And here's the thing, who cares? A 50-year-old introducing her boyfriend to her mother. But one, it's been 7 years. This is my partner. And the other is my parents have never approved of the person that I'm dating. Actually, that has been a huge part of why we didn't talk for over a decade. I just reconnected with my parents in the summer, so just a few months ago. A couple months later, my father died. Now I'm still in touch with my mom, and I realized that I have been sort of lying by omission. I change pronouns. So we've been talking. I want to take it slow. I mostly talk about her. And when it comes to the things that I do, I say, oh, I went on a bike ride, or I'm about to go on a bike ride. I'm going to see a show tonight. And she never really asked, oh, you're going by yourself to see a show with a friend, with someone, a neighbor? So she never really asks follow-up questions. And so I'm thinking, I'm doing that thing that we kind of always did, and we stayed surface so that we don't argue, so that we don't get into something that we've proven we will stop talking to each other over. And so then it turns out my mom is planning a visit. Now, she lives in the Middle East. And she lives in Israel. So right now it's really hard to get out, and actually her plans got derailed and stuff. But now she's in the States. But while we were planning this, I realized that, I would love for my mom to come visit. We all three of us, me and my siblings, we live in different states. She's staying a month in each of their place. Now they have children, so grandma coming feels a little bit different. For me, maybe a month at my place might be excessive. I was thinking like a week, but I was also thinking no one's going to really talk about her coming to visit me, because we're still doing that dance of, nothing to see here. Let's just keep it like, how was your day in general? So my brothers are planning a month. I think I forget the exact dates. They changed a little bit since, but it was a month and a month. And I thought, wouldn't it be great if she came for a week? And I just ended up saying, like, look, she never said, why don't I come over to your place? So I just kind of told my brothers, like, it's kind of sad, but I don't know that she would feel comfortable coming here when I live with someone that she doesn't know, that's not approved, So I'm talking to my mom the other day, and she said, I heard that you were upset that I wasn't coming to your place, or something like that. It wasn't like my brothers were, narking on me or anything, but she said, I said, yeah, I would like to. And she was hesitant too. I think she thought that I didn't want her to come over, that would be too much. And I said, look, of course I would love for you to come over, but you should know that I live with someone, and he's not Jewish and he's Dominican. So like, it's not in any of the boxes that she wants me to be in. And she said something like, not to be morbid, but how much time do you think I have? She said, your father just passed, and I don't know how that, it made me think, I don't know how much longer I have. I could be gone very shortly. She's like, what do I have, like 10 years, 20 maybe? And I don't want to spend that time judging you, and I'm not going to. And I'm like getting emotional about it because she's never really said anything like that. She said, I'm not here to make you upset. If you want me to come over, if you want me to meet this person, then I'll come over. And I was like, well, yeah, and I'm crying, but I don't want her to know that I'm crying, because I'm always afraid that if I tell her that I'm feeling emotional, she will pull back a little bit. And it's not like, oh, I don't want your feelings. It's more like, I don't want to hurt you. I made you cry sort of thing. So I don't want her to stop, because I'm okay with crying. So I'm like, oh my goodness, And I've spoken to Xerxes about this before. And by the way, in 2 weeks, it'll be our 7-year anniversary. I've spoken to him about it before. He knows the limitations of our relationship. He knows the complications between me and my mom, not between me and him, although I bet he knows those complications. But and he's perfectly fine. And I even, he knows that they want a specific race and belief system, and it's stuff that, like, a lot of it I don't qualify for, except for the race. That I don't have the same belief system, I don't have the same responses to life that they do, and I don't have the same goals that they would want me to have. And we share that, me and Xerxes, and he understands that relationship that I have, that I have to be all right with. I asked if he still would be cool with it. I even kind of did some simulations. I'm like, what if she says this? I don't even remember the what if she says this questions, but I think meeting a conservative or a liberal when you're not a conservative or a liberal could be nerve-wracking, but I think this will go okay. Let's see. Anyway, turns out that the timing of her being here will not work out because we're moving. And we kind of decided this after she had already made the plans for when she's going to be here. And even though she's here right now and we're still in this place, we still have a bedroom that she could stay in. It would be weird to not start packing now and to maybe keep the apartment for the house for another month or something. The timing is just not working out. So instead, we're going to go to my brother's place when she's there in New York and visit, and I think have a sleepover. I don't know. So that's going to happen in a few weeks. I think it's very strange that as a 50-year-old, I could be like, oh my God, my boyfriend's going to beat my mom. And it kind of makes me think, like, do we have enough clothes for this? Are we going to look presentable? And is she going to like our hair? And I mean, not just him, me. Is she going to like the clothing that I choose to wear? Is she going to be okay with how we have our hair and, all of this stuff? And I have to stop and say, who cares? What am I going to do? I don't want to. And obviously what I'm going to do is what I did earlier. I was changing pronouns. I was saying I instead of we. There's lots of things that I can do. I would like to not live in hiding around my mom. That being said, I'm not going to curse. There is some, like, a little bit of, can I call it code switching? There's a little bit of language change. There's a little bit of, I don't know, I guess hiding. I guess really hiding. And I want to do as little of that as possible with respect. I really thought that at 50 years old, I wouldn't need to think about these kinds of things, that approval from my parent, worry, concern over what they're going to think of over my choices. But here I am. So, subscribe for my thoughts, please. And also, let me know why you're listening. Let me know what you hear. And if you're sharing it and if you're talking about it, I want to have this relationship with you. I want to know, did you introduce your partner to your family? Was it awkward? I think ultimately I will get over it, but obviously if I'm talking about it, it's something, right? So how do you feel? How do I sound? Do I sound like a child? I feel like a child when I talk about my mom, and I'm trying to fade that away from how I consider my thinking when I think about her. And that's why, part of me is like, can you really ever just be friends with your parent? Or are they always your parent? Am I going to be 70 and she's 90 something? And I'm like, and then when my mom said this to me, I was like, you can't say that to me, Mom. I don't want to feel like a teenager forever around my mom. Um, I'd like the physical bounce back of a teenager, but not the mentality, not the hiding, not the worry. So let's see how it goes. It's a few weeks. Thanks for listening.